Hey there! So this is your video implementation guide for January 2022. I'm doing it a little differently this time. You'll get to see my face. And I'm going to do kind of a presentation to show you what's all included and how to use your resources the best way possible. And my little head will be in the corner chatting. So a little different than typically I just scroll through the PDF and kind of read page by page and kind of tell you how to implement it, but I thought this would be like a more visual, fun way for you to understand it better. So I would love some feedback. Let me know what you think. Okay, new year, new things, right? So I'll share my screen with you guys. Here we go. Your first resource that I have for you is a growth mindset class lesson. Now, it's not typical. Usually I give you the class lessons that are like the digital, editable PowerPoint, Google Slides versions, but this one is mission growth mindset. So if you were around in August, you may have remembered Mission Meet the Counselor. So Mission is my series where the kids are kind of like cracking a code or doing an escape room style. So it's very interactive, and let's talk about why you should use an escape room style guidance lesson game instead of just like a typical one, because I love the typical ones as well, but sometimes it's fun to switch it up, and this is why I like to use them. First up, they are competitive and fun, so if the kids love them, it's just fun, right? We want to make school fun, and they're also memorable, so kids are more likely to retain a concept or to really understand what we're teaching them if we make it memorable. And to make it memorable, we want to use highly engaging activities. So this is super highly engaging. They're moving around the room, interacting at different stations. They're not just sitting in their desk listening to you. And it checks students' understanding after a brief introduction. So you're going to kind of introduce the concept of growth mindset, and then the students are going to verify that they understand what exactly that is. Now, I recommend that you use this with upper elementary. You could vary it and do second or sixth, but I think third to fifth grade is that prime zone for using this resource. So here's a picture of what it looks like in action. So what you're going to see are these little envelopes with missions inside, and the students are going to open them up and try to solve their mission and try to get their group to win. But I'll break you through the instructions a little further here because the instructions are a little lengthy on this one. So if you're a reader, you may like to just go to them and read it, but if not, I'm going to show it to you here. Okay, so first up, this does require a little prep. I would say it is one of my more high prep resources, but I do encourage you to prep it, and then you can laminate it and reuse it time and time again. So to prepare it, you're going to, obviously print out everything first, and then you're going to have mission instructions. So you're going to put all the instructions in an envelope, and you're going to have a set of instructions for each group. So you're going to be dividing the class into groups. So if you have 4 groups, you'll have 4 envelopes. You can see here in the corner, it says like group 3. So each one would say, which group number that is. And then you're going to have answer keys. So you're going to put those in a separate envelope that says answer key. And you can make it say like top secret answer key. So that way the kids aren't, tempted to open it. Now, only mission 1 and 2 need the answer keys, because these are going to be self-grading, right? They're going to verify their answers. There's correct, right, or wrong answers. Mission 3, 4, and 5 are more subjective. So you will be coming around. They'll indicate when they're finished, and you'll come around and verify their answers. But you'll see in a second why those can be a little more subjective. So then mission 1 and 2 have additional paper strips. So you're going to cut those out and put them in envelopes and label them. See here, mission 1 and that group number. So here's an example. They're in here, the paper strips, they'll be using those. And then you cut out the circles. So there's these little circles you can see, let me see down here. I have this one on a popsicle stick. These say mission complete. So those are going to be at desks or stations 3, 4, and 5, because these are for the ones that are not self-grading. So when they get to that station, they'll need to hold up that little stick and say mission complete, and you as the facilitator will come over and verify to see if they got the correct answer. And then finally, all 5 desks need an envelope with the final mission complete instructions inside. So people are starting at different desks. Think of it like a scoot game. And once they start, they're rotating. So if you're at desk 3, you go to 4. If you're at 4, you go to 5. If you're at 5, you go to 1. You're going in an order here as you do them. So when they get, someone might finish, their final mission might be number 1, or someone else's final mission might be number 5. So that's why you have that final mission envelope on every desk. If they get there and it is their final mission, they'll open it and follow the instructions. So basically, think about it this way. The kids are in groups, they go to the room, they're mission 1, they read their mission, they do it, they check the answer key. If they get it right, they move on. Or they do mission 3, they read it, they do mission 3, they hold up their thing that says mission complete, and then they move on. And then if it's their last one, they get there and they say, oh, we've already done this. They open that final mission, and that's where they read the instructions. So let's take a look at what's on each desk. So you're going to have different stations, so 5 different desks or stations around the room, and then you're going to have 5 groups, right? So again, they're rotating. So if you have 30 kids in the class, that's a lot, hope not. But if you do, 6 kids in each group. So mission 1 desk, I have an image of it. Back here, you kind of saw those images, but the mission 1 desk, you're going to have those instructions, answer key, final mission complete, and additional envelopes with paper strips. So if you see a trend here, all of them have the final mission complete envelope, right? That's the consistent thing in all of them. And it has the mission instructions envelope. So everybody gets those. And then the differences are mission 1 and 2 have those additional envelopes with paper strips and the answer key envelope because they're self-grading. Whereas mission 3, 4, and 5 have those the cutout circles on the popsicle sticks. Or you can just laminate them and have students hold them up. Now, mission 4, you'll also need some blank paper and crayons, markers, or colored pencils. And mission 5, some aligned paper and pens or pencils. So you want to make sure you have enough paper, 1 per student. So let's talk about how we play. We've done the setup. Now, how do we actually play the game? So like I said, you're going to divide the class into 5 groups and assign them to different stations. You say begin, and students open their envelope and complete the mission as instructed. So for example, let's look at this mission number 1 sorting activity. The student directions say, find the strips of paper that say true and false and lay them on the table. Read the scenarios on the other strips of paper. Decide if it's true or false. If you think it's true, put it under true. If you think it's false, put it under false. I tried to make these really clear for the kiddos because as a facilitator, you're kind of juggling a lot. And then when you're finished, check your answers. If you're correct, move to number 2. If you're incorrect, make the corrections and move on. So obviously we give them a chance to make the corrections and move on. And then if you've completed all 5 missions, open the final mission complete and follow instructions. So the kids have this, these instructions at each station so they know what's going on. And it's surprisingly, I've done this with like 4th and 5th graders and they do great. Like they're not like, what are we supposed to do? Like they usually catch on pretty quickly. Let's see here. And then when they're finished, they check the answer key or hold up their sticks and move on. And the first group to finish wins. So when they finish their last mission, they open that final mission complete. And on that paper is like a secret signal, and that is to rub their bellies while patting their heads. So once you as the facilitator are walking around, but if you see a group start doing that, they are the winners. Now, here are some things to note. So if you don't want one group to win, if you're trying to be like less competitive, you can just wait until all groups are finished with their missions. Or you could have it where everyone does, I guess you could have it where like everyone does mission 1 at the same time, then mission 2. But the idea is to rotate around. Now, I do have, everything's available in both color and black and white for you. However, the mission number 2 is like color coordinating. They're supposed to sort by color. So if you don't have access to a color printer, they can still participate in number 2. It will just be more challenging because the colors kind of make it easier for them. Or you can always print it on colored paper. And I also recommend using colored paper for those mission complete signals, just to make them cuter. And don't forget about reviewing some ground rules before playing. So, no running between the stations, and wait on all of your group members. So let's break it down mission by mission. So here is mission 1, the sorting activity. So the kids are trying to learn and define what a growth mindset is. So, true or false. Your brain gets stronger when you try challenging things. True. If you make a mistake, you should give up. False. Mistakes help me learn. True. So they're sorting these papers. And then the sentence scramble. So this is where one's talking about a growth mindset, one's kind of talking about a fixed mindset, and you're doing so this is the one I was talking about, the colors. So all the greens go together, all the purples go together. So they just see them all cut up, and then they have to rearrange them to see, to make the sentence make sense. The sentence scramble. 3, 4, and 5 are a little different. So these are the subjective ones I was talking about. In number 3, they're acting out what growth mindset is. So they're going to do a little skit for you. So when they're going to rehearse and they say, we're ready, they hold their thing up. You go over, and the idea here is that there's not a lot of noise because it is highly interactive. So I just said, we're ready, but they don't need to do that. They'll just hold their thing up you're like, oh, they're ready. Or if people are doing this, they're completely finished. You as the facilitator can kind of see like, oh, they're here, they're here. So it's not as stressful as it may sound. It's actually really, really fun. The kids love it. So the act it out, they're going to get with their teammates to come up with a scenario to explain what it means for growth mindset. I have a rule there. Everyone has to have a speaking part. You don't want some people to kind of take over. So they're going to do an example. You watch it, and if you think they did a good job of explaining growth mindset, then you let them move on. Tell them to go to the next one. If not, maybe you can give them some suggestions or review what the definition is. Mission number 4, draw a picture. So similarly, they have to draw a picture of what someone with a growth mindset and someone without a growth mindset look like. And then mission 5, they have to write examples of a time they've used a growth mindset. And again, everyone's participating. It's not one per group because we want each student to really understand this. And then mission complete. Here it is. So when they're all done, they hold up those little things, or they do their symbol if it's their final mission, and that's how they know that they've completed and they won. So that is Mission Growth Mindset. I hope you love it. It's super, super fun. So I hope your kiddos love it as much as mine did. I can't wait to hear your feedback on that one. Okay, I hope you love your Tier 1 resource.